Alright YouTube, welcome back to the channel. It's another street lighting one today and you're joining me on part 2 of the monster section fault that I'm dealing with here. If you're watching this video and you haven't seen the last one, I'll leave a link up one of the corners and you can go and have a look at that. Just it'll give you a wee bit of a clearer idea of what I'm looking at today. Obviously as a wee bit of a recap, I've narrowed it down one area, so I've managed to get 27 columns lit so far, and I think I would have stopped the first video where the cable went into a path, so we'll take it for there. As you'll see when I'm out and about with the camera and tools and stuff like that, but I've switched on another section box that covers another side of this area, so that way I'm at least able to narrow down what stuff is dark that shouldn't be dark. I've had a quick look and it looks to be another 10 columns on this circuit, so in total this one circuit is supplying 37 columns, which is massive. It's the most I've ever seen on one circuit, and especially for the length of this circuit. At some point this has definitely been altered or something like that, because it's far too long a circuit, and that's something that I'll put back to the client and hopefully that they can address it, whether it's splitting it and back feeding it off another circuit or something like that. But again, that's not my problem. I'm just here today to try and have a good look at this. Just as a recap for everyone, so this is the bit where I got everything lit in here as well, so all 27 columns. I disconnected at this column here, which feeds down this path and then straight through this as well and feeds another 10 columns. So my plan is that I'm going to rehook that cable back into the circuit. But first I want to come to this column dead ahead of me. It's got 3 cables in it, and the plan is to do what I've been doing and stay at that size of that connector block for that. But so this has got three cables in it, so disconnect all 3 of these cables, hook the one in back up there, find out what one's live, find out what one goes that way. I'm hoping that's my fault and it means I can get all this stuff back on. That's that stuff in there disconnected. I think I showed it on the previous video as well, but I'm hoping that this is the issue here. All these tree stumps, you can see what they've obviously done to this slab and stuff like that, so I'm hoping that that's the issue, and then it's effectively just going to be one single dark. It'll be an easy track to get a new cable in there. It's failing that, it's going to be back out there, and like I said, there's 10 columns out there to then break down again, which is a bit of a nightmare. But I'll nip away, go and switch that box off, put that leg back in, find out what's live here, but obviously I'm going to make all that stuff safe. But I'll go and do that off camera, and then I'll come back in when I've got a wee bit more info. Column by column we're getting there. Got a wee bit lucky in that the one here that I didn't disconnect and couldn't disconnect because that grub screw's threaded is actually my feed in from there. So now I'll just go and take the bandit off that column there, and then I can do a wee continuity test to find out what cable here is which, and then obviously if I'm getting continuity and all that stuff, I'll do an IR test on it. If that's clear, then it should be fine to put back in, and then it's just a case of splitting the stuff out there, and eventually we'll hopefully find this. Got this door off as expected, only one cable in here. I'll even actually just go and grab my IR tester and check this cable back there
and obviously if it's clear then I'll be able to determine which one's which, and if it's down then this is my fault. But on another thing, when you hear all these sparks on YouTube and stuff like that complaining about spiders' webs and this and that up in lofts, come and do a day in the street lighting and you'll know what it's all about. This isn't even that bad. And look at this. Obviously the previous video found a dead bird in one of the columns, so it's pretty minging. But I'll go and grab my yard tester and get this checked. Screws on this cutout are seized. I'm not able to get into it properly, so I'll just need to go with the probes as opposed to the croc clips. I've just taken this neutral out just in case I get any funny readings from that. Again, using this wee meter, said in the last video, going to say it in this one, going to say it in every video that I need to use it. If there's any brands or any companies out there that'd be willing to give us a proper MFT, whether it's Mega, Fluke, Metro, Datilog, Q-Tech, whoever, please do get in touch, and I'd really appreciate you sending one out. I'll put it through its paces on the street lighting and show what it can do. But for the time being, I just need to use this, so I'll just go with 250. And it's just it behind me, so I'm not expecting any issues. Let's see if I can jam that in. That's my I am struggling a wee bit here to do this with one hand, so I'll see if I can get it balanced and I'll show you the result. Live to neutral, it's been bouncing between that and 240 odds. No great, but not end of the world. I'll go between live and earth, neutral and earth, and see what I'm getting. Right, so between live and earth, no massive numbers or nowhere near the scale of this tester, but shouldn't be an issue there. And then between neutral and earth, it's again better, but shouldn't necessarily be an issue with that. So what I'll do is I'll bail out this cable with the one back there and find out exactly what one's going here, and then even just try and putting this one in and seeing if it's holding up okay. Right, so amount of steps I've done this job over the last couple of days. I think I've done about 16,000 yesterday. Don't know if you can hear that beeping in the background, but it's this cable here. That's my link across there. So again, another trip back to the board, switch it off, put that one in, and then back to the board, switch it on and see if it holds. So that's this one back in and holding. Check that fuse. I think this must just be either a dark or it's maybe got a full cell on it, but either way this one's lit, holding. Quite gutted of that. I was hoping that this was going to be the fault, because this would have been the easiest out of everywhere around here to track. But aye, on to the next one. I come outside to the first sort of logical column from that path. I was thinking probably one in here, one up there, and then one over there. But you can see that that flex is all burnt and stuff like that, so I'm thinking that's another giveaway that this one could probably be the fault, or possibly be the fault, but again it could be another red herring, just like I've had quite a few here. You can see that they're all quite burnt, but again I'll do my usual disconnect and prove what cables are what. Starting to make some decent progress with this now. So over there where my tools are, that first column there, that's where it gets fed in from the lane. From the lane to there it's clear. So I've connected that back in. Came to this one, and this one's end of line as well. So one of the cables will be going to where my tools are sitting over there. I add that, and that's clear. So just need to prove what one that is over the other end, and then I'll connect that in, and then it's just going to be going up there. I think there's another 5 or 6 columns or something like that, and then that's pretty much it. But I think I've shown you in the last clip, but I'll show you it again. I think the fault could be the cables were starting to sort of melt into the column a wee bit, but I'll be as thorough as I can with it, or maybe even, or I'm in two minds whether to just separate all that stuff over there that was into the column and then connect everything back into the circuit, and then if it trips then I know it's something else, or if it holds then I know that that was probably the fault. But I'll sort of gauge it once I've figured out exactly what this cable where this cable goes. From the last clip I think I'd already said, but that flex is all burnt. They're a wee bit burnt. That link there is burnt up. You can see two dots there, or even a couple. That's where that's been pressing against this column and getting hot, so I'm thinking that that's possibly the fault. I've connected everything back in there, just temporary just now. Roughly marked on this what's what, so 2 EOL, 2 end of line, just for my reference. We tick on it just so I know that both the cables are okay. This is the one that's untested, it will go up there. Separated everything from touching the column. If this is the issue, then I'll obviously replace all these links and stuff like that as well. I end up doing something a wee bit naughty and that I shouldn't have done, and I end up connecting the cable in a way around the corner and live, and I heard it blow back straight away. But it was strange because all this stuff was still on, and it turned out it actually blew the connection in here out of the Henley block, so basically left that full crescent in darkness, but all this stuff on that threw me for a wee while. But I managed to trace that out. But with everything connected, it's blown the breaker, so the wee bit of burning there isn't my issue, and it's going to be further down the circuit. So back to square one with this. Right, for the last handful of columns, I think there's about 5 or 6, I'm just going to go with a different tack. I'm just going to go between each column and IR test between them. It's probably just going to be easier now, just given that the section box is so far away. It's an absolute nuisance to keep walking back and forward to, so. Oh. Right, I wonder if that's our issue. Between live and earth. That's not great. Right, so I think it's between live and earth. I'm really not getting a good reading at all. And I'm getting a slightly better reading now. Maybe just a poor connection there, but try between live and neutral again, see. It's reading better now. I think I've quite possibly found it here. So got that one on. There's a supply to that one. And the cable between this column and that column was when I was getting the dodgy readings on. I thought I would connect it up here. Obviously I made it, done it in a way which was safe for now, but it's actually this cable here. So see if I can do this in a way that's visible for you guys. So 230 between live and neutral, 120 between live and earth, and then where it gets a bit more interesting, 24 volts between neutral and earth. So that's going to be my fault. So I'll go back, switch this off, connect this. I'll connect this in just to prove the theory that this will bang when it's re-energised, and then that should be the fault. But what I'll go and do, possibly off camera, just depending on time, is there's another 4 columns up there. I'll check all my cables between them just to make sure that they are all okay. But it looks as if a track is going to be needed up this hill, which is going to be a nightmare when it's all monoblocking and stuff, but that's not my problem. My theory is wrong. This is lighting, and the holding it's been on for a good 5 minutes or so. So I reckon that this isn't it. So what I'll do is I'll make this side of things safe for now and power on with the rest of this. How much are we betting that my fault is from there to there? The only pole that I can't get access to. So what I'm going to do is go to that one, and then I think is there one more? There's one more down there. So basically prove that the cables are good between all of them, and then it's just going to be a case of obviously if they're all good, I know that my fault's going to be between that one and that one, or that one and that one, and then it's just going to be a case of asking the tenant here, or getting permission basically to cut some of this hedge away to get access to it. This stage just going from bad to worse. Gutted. Quite frustrating, but looks like I'm going to be in the market for a new set of screwdrivers. If anybody's got any recommendations, or again, if there's any companies watching this that would be happy to send us out anything, then get in touch. Just going to jump in with another recap. So cable comes from up here into this one. This one must have 3 cables in it, because there's only 1 cable over there, and then the next column has 2 cables in it, and then the one after that's end of line. So this must have feed in, feed over to there, and then feed over to there. So what I'm going to do is go to the last column on the circuit, IR test back the way, make sure that cable's clear, and then if that's the case, the fault is either going to be between there and there, there and there, or there and down there, but it's all riding on access to this column here. I'll see what the results are this IR test say first, and then I'll get in touch with the powers that be and see what can be done. If I can squeeze my way in here, I will. It might be quite difficult. I'll obviously do what I can. You'll know by now that I do everything in my power to either find faults or do any repairs and all that sort of stuff, so I do like to go above and beyond, so I'll try and get in there and test out some cables. At the last column in this circuit, and we'll do our IR test. Right, so that cable is sound. It's more than enough, but it's just going to keep climbing slowly, but I'm happy with that. So we'll go live to earth, and then neutral earth is fine. So I'll connect this one back in, or I'll bail it out first, and once I know what cable's doing what, put this one back in, put it back in at that side, and then I'll just leave the other one out and I'll try and get access to that hedge and split it, but it's because it's going to have 3 in it and it's more than likely going to be Henley blocks. It's going to be an absolute nightmare to deal with, but I'll do what I can. And we have found the fault, so don't know how well you can see that, but that's fire damaged. That's been getting pretty hot in there. So what I'm going to do, and look at the state of the column, it's holes gouged out all of it, and you can properly smell the smoke and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is just try and strip that back as best I can, and I'll do the usual. I'll make sure all my cables are good. It might just well be that they're burnt somewhere and they're touching live to neutral or whatever, but I'll strip them back as best I can and prove all my cables are good. I'll take you back in at the pole in a wee minute, but there you go, there's the remains. How badly this one's been connected. One of the lives just popped out, it wasn't even connected in properly at all. That's the way I've found it, and it just pulled out. I had to do the neutrals, but you can see that that's everything there. But that's a good find. I'm quite happy with that one. So what I've done is cut everything away basically, just so that I can test it as clearly as I can, cut all the damaged bits back, and I'm just going to IR each one of the cables, prove which one goes each way. If they are fine, I'm going to need to look at my wee box of tricks and see what I've got, and then whether it's connector block just for tonight to get this going, and then I can come back with Henley. But I'm going to be putting in that this column needs replaced, because there's no way to fix a new cutout or anything like that too. But I'll do this bit first, and then I'll come back in and let you know how the cables are looking. As always, we'll just go through this systematically. So I'll just want to see that all the cables are fine first before I do anything else. Right, okay, that's more than enough. So that's that. Yeah. That's slowly climbing. Right, that's plenty. It's the neutral air for that circuit. Again, that's enough. So we'll go neutral air for another one. and then neutral to live on another one. Plenty, and then live to neutral for the second cable. Plenty, so we'll go live to neutral in the last cable. Plenty, live to earth. And then neutral earth. Right, not as good as some of the other ones, but still plenty. So now it's just going to be a case of proving what cable goes where. I'll just do that off camera quickly and then I'll come back in. Right, so I've traced out what cables go where. So the one facing that way is going down the monoblock. The one to the left is obviously going over to the left, and the one facing towards me, this one here, is going to that first one there. All have IR'd out satisfactory, so I'm going to see if I can find something in the van, even just to join them together now and basically put everything back together, and this should all hopefully light. Obviously this one will be dark in the meantime until this column gets replaced, because there's no point of sticking anything on this, because it's going to be literally just a junction box. This column is effectively going to be used as. That's that joined through now. Before I get crucified in the comments, that is temporary. I don't have any Henley blocks or anything like that on as of now. And like I said, this column will need replaced, but this is purely just to see if this circuit holds while this is all connected. So next up, I'll just put that one back in. The one there needs to go back in, and then the feed up here needs to go back into that column there. But we'll obviously drive back down, switch the box off, energise it, drive back, switch the box on, and see if it holds. There we go. That's everything. It's got a supply at least anyway. That one's obviously dark because there's no cable going up to the fitting, and then there's one or two other single darks throughout the install. But I think in the grand scheme of things, that was a pretty good find if I do say so myself. Obviously it had to be in there, but you see that one right there in the centre of the screen, that's a flasher. One to the right of that is dark. One to the right of that one is dark. I'm just going to do a wee drive round it now and take a note of all the darks and put in a sheet basically, just so that they hopefully get fixed sometime soon. And on that same sheet I'm going to be saying that that column needs replaced. A new fitting, new column, cut out, etc., just so that everything there's new. And for anyone wondering as well, anybody eagle-eyed, you would have seen when I put the connector blocks in there that I hadn't bridged them across. That's obviously done, hence why it's lit through now, but just didn't show it on camera. One or two things just before I finish up on this job as well. I've actually left this on what would be now probably like a 3-hour test, so similar to what you would get on an easy. Obviously not quite the same here, but just to ensure that this definitely was holding up, which I thought it obviously would, and it has done. And then the other thing that I was actually going to just do here, just for my own interest, and obviously I can imagine a few of you guys would sorry about that, I get a phone call there. Aye, so I can imagine quite a few you guys would be interested as well to see how much this is pulling, what load it's pulling. So I've just switched it off for the time being now. Bear in mind this is 37 columns on this, most of which are, or I'd say there's maybe a handful of LEDs, but most of which are 70 watts. So we'll see what this is pulling. So start up, it's actually a bit less than what I thought actually. That's not too bad actually. I was expecting a lot worse than that. Again, I think I showed off the panel in the first video, but here's a look at it here. This is a proper old style of doing it. I've had it a good authority from some of the residents here that this estate's about 40-year-old, and obviously would have been brand new when it went in then, so this stuff's all 40-year-old. And this is it. It's actually in no too bad condition. Still working, and that's sort of steady to sell at about 7.6 amps. But aye, job's done here. Thanks very much for watching this one. Hopefully you found it interesting and informative, and I'll see you in the next one.